doing pretty well actually, and thanks for having us on your website and for doing the review of our demo recording last year.
We've been pretty good. We recorded a bunch of songs, 8 songs to be precise, and we decided to put them out as 2 separate EPs. The first of them, Worst Coast, we put out about a month ago, and the second one is yet to be released.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a concept, and if there was a concept, it was not thematical, it was more sound-wise, because we recorded the songs in succession, and I think that they reveal pretty well how we have evolved within the last year.
Yeah, and we wrote those songs in a pretty short time period, so even though we didn't have a concept before we started writing, the feeling that we had at the end was like that was one whole thing, so yeah.
Also, we've been very lucky to not to struggle too much, because we made songs relatively easily. We get to the point where we are satisfied with them, and we pretty much recorded them right away, so we haven't missed any steps so far.
Yeah, so the bottom line is that it wasn't something that was preconceived, it was something that came along the way, I guess.
Good question, Carol. Let me answer that in the form of a song. Never made as a wise man, couldn't cut as a poor man still there. I'm hung like a black Mario. That black man's got a small penis. So yeah, you tell me.
Devil worship.
Copying other bands such as Modern Talking.
Modern Talking is what?
There's not much mysticism to it. Basically, we're just, you know, one of us has an idea, we bring it to the rehearsal and work from that.
Song titles are a big inspiration for us because song titles never come from the song itself, but from digging around with words.
And it's usually the most interesting part. It's more interesting than making the actual song.
That's why we play music, basically.
Yeah.
The name is, well, it's supposed to reflect some of the emotions that are dominant on this record, like some mostly negative emotions related to like insecurities and those type of things, but it's also meant to be kind of a goofy, funny kind of, because like we said before, one of the main things about, you know, naming things about our band is just to make fun of stuff and to make it interesting for ourselves.
Being punny, basically.
Yeah.
Also, Puerto Rico is a pretty coastal country, so.
We're pretty consensual. I mean, that's one of the things, one of the first things that was important when we were starting this band, that we're all kind of in the same mindset music-wise, and that we don't waste too much time on, you know, defining things with style. So just, we were all kind of, we all knew what we wanted from this music and what kind of emotions we wanted to explore in this, and that's pretty much how it turned out.
Yeah, we had, I think, the same idea at the beginning when we started the band, and from then I think it's safe to say that we agree on 90% of the things we have to do. But you know, it's impossible to always agree on everything, but that's how it is.
Which can be good because we've known each other for a very long time, and from the scene, and Costa and I are playing in this other band, and the idea behind Muerto Rico basically was to explore the sound that we couldn't explore in our original bands, and I think that is largely what drives us still, because we do have a very decent amount of chemistry and understanding and the same mind frame when it comes to punk hardcore music.
Punk hardcore music.
Hardcore punk.
Maybe.
Yes, definitely. It makes you appreciate it much more just because you know all what those people go through, like every day, trying to make new music, trying to find time to do everything that they do, to record stuff, to fund everything from their own pockets. It makes you support it much more, especially if the bands don't suck.
Yeah, I think we all kind of grew up in the time when all the bands we listened to were like traveling around in tour buses and making loads of money, and now it's just much more real that, you know, when you make something, you make it on your own, you make it from your own funding and your own efforts, and so do most of the bands that we listen to and that we support. So yeah, it makes it much more work.
Well, recording-wise, as we said earlier, we recorded 8 songs within the same session. The first 4 songs being the Worst Coast EP, and the second 4 songs will probably be on the next EP, which will be within the next week or so. And also, we made a batch of I Smoke. Of 4 brand new songs, which again hopefully we'll record within the next few months, so stay tuned.
Yeah, and also we've been planning a European tour with our friends in Eagle Has Landed for next spring, probably in April.
Yeah, and in November this year we're doing a show here in Belgrade with also our friends in Eagle Has Landed and Birds in Row, who are kind of a band we all really like and listen to.
Yeah, very formative band for us. I wouldn't call it thriving exactly. I think that more bands have emerged who are willing to struggle a bit and to make the scene count and themselves count. Our scene is very much divided, and I think that's probably the biggest problem with it. But I wouldn't call things great, but things generally are getting better. More gigs are being organized, and the only thing that is still lacking is high schoolers who come to those gigs.
Yeah, there are a bunch of people who try their best to make something work in this hardcore punk scene over here. Our friends in Destroy Babylon Booking, then Rebuild Collective from Novi Sad, Remain Insane Booking, also bands like Reflections of Internal Rain, Wrong Way Kids, Nothing Else to Do, Young Husbands, and
Against the Odds.
Against the Odds. Sorry if we forgot about anyone.
We probably have, but still.
We don't care.
Yeah.